I got a band 9 on IELTS reading 3 times. To score high on IELTS reading, you must have a reading strategy. You must know how to find the correct answers really fast. And this is what I'm going to teach you in this video. I show you how to solve an IELTS reading passage in less than 20 minutes, so you can do it in your IELTS test. If you're going to take your IELTS soon, check out my IELTS materials. There I teach you everything you need to score high. I show you step by step how to give high scoring answers, and of course we do many practice tests together so you will feel confident for your test. You can find the link to the IELTS materials in the description box. And now let's get started. Here you can see the reading passage, and here are the questions. When you start your IELTS reading test, don't start by reading the passage, because this is a waste of time. At that point, you have absolutely no idea what the questions are about, so you don't know what you need to look for in the passage. Instead, go directly to the questions, figure out what they ask you to do, and then have a look at the passage and scan the passage for the relevant information. That's exactly what we're going to do now. We don't have much time, so we really have to hurry up. We start with questions 1 to 5. The instructions say, reading passage 1 has 6 sections, A to F. Which paragraph contains the following information? Write the correct letter A to F in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheet. And question number 1 says, an example of an informal language system that is similar to rhyming slang. Now we go to the passage and scan the passage for this information. We are looking for an informal language system that's similar to rhyming slang. First, let's have a look at the first paragraph. What is it talking about? We read this one a bit more closely so we get an idea of what the passage is generally about, and also we need to know what rhyming slang is. The title is Rhyming Slang, and here it says, fancy a ruby tonight, my old China? This question would baffle the majority of English speakers around the world, but most Londoners understand that someone is inviting a friend for curry. Why is the speaker using these unusual words? Why does ruby mean curry and China mean mate, i.e. friend? And then the paragraph continues saying, users of rhyming slang replace common words with rhymes. But it's not always a simple switch, and then it gives a few examples. So now we know what this is about, right? Rhyming slang is a system of informal language. And what does the question ask us to do? We need to look for an example of an informal language system that is similar to rhyming slang. So this is not about rhyming slang itself. We need to look for something that's similar. So let's have a look at paragraph B. Is there anything in paragraph B that mentions another informal language system? Paragraph B talks about rhyming slang again here. And it seems to explain how it developed, because it says it was used by criminals, so the police couldn't understand what they were saying. So there are a few speculations why it developed, but there is nothing about another informal language system. Let's move on to C. C gives examples of rhyming slang. You can see many examples here, but there is nothing about another informal language system. Let's move on to D. What is D about? B gives examples again. Certain phrases from rhyming slang have entered standard British English and are now widely understood. Here, one example is use your loaf. But again, there is nothing about another informal language system. So let's move on to E. Paragraph E says, the popularity and continued growth of rhyming slang have made it a fascinating subject of study for linguists. In particular, scholars have drawn comparisons between rhyming slang and other cryptolegs. So here, the paragraph talks about other systems, right? The proper term for secret languages, such as verlan, a French system which requires words to be reversed in speech. The name itself comes from the word l'envers, back to front, which sounds like verlan when the syllables switch places. So this is another informal language system, right? It's an informal language system used in France. So the correct answer here is E. We can find this information in paragraph E, so we are going to write down E on our answer sheet. We move on to the second question. The name of the London district where rhyming slang originated. Let's check this out. Paragraph 1 was talking about rhyming slang, and I remember that it talked about East London here. But East London is not the name of a London district. It's only East London, it's not the name of a district. So let's check the next paragraph whether there is something in there. Here, I can see something, guys. I can see the word neighborhood here. Let's read this sentence more closely. Less cynical theories suggest it was simply a way for friends to have fun and build community in the Seven Dials neighborhood where it first appeared. That's the correct answer, right? The question says the name of the London district where rhyming slang originated. To originate means that it stems from there. It first appeared there. And this is what it says here. And what is the neighborhood called? It's called Seven Dials here. So B is the correct answer. We are going to write down B on our answer sheet. Next, question number 3. A reason why one informal language system became well known beyond its origins. So the question says one informal language system. We have rhyming slang and we have verlan. This is what the passage talks about. So it talks about one informal language system here, so this doesn't necessarily refer to rhyming slang. Let's have a look again at paragraph E to see whether it refers to verlan. And if we can't find the information here, we have a look at the rest of the passage. This helps us save time. So we have already read this paragraph to a certain extent, so let's continue here. In its early years, verlan was mainly used by young people from poorer urban areas of France. But as with rhyming slang, many words and phrases, such as c'est franc for français, I French, have ultimately entered everyday language. This integration into the mainstream was helped along by films, such as 1995's La Haine, which was peppered with verlan expressions such as ouf, fou, or mad, and Renoir, noir, describing a black person. Okay, what does the paragraph say? The paragraph says that the spread of verlan was helped along by films such as 1995's La Haine, because this film used lots of expression from verlan here. It was peppered with verlan expressions. And what does the question say? A reason why one informal language system became well known beyond its origins. What about its origins? The paragraph says that in its early years, verlan was mainly used by young people from poorer urban areas of France, but then it ultimately entered everyday language. And one of the reasons were films like La Haine, which used these expressions from verlan. So we can find this information in paragraph E. E is the correct answer. Next, we move on to question number 4. A word in rhyming slang that refers to an item of clothing. So we are looking for an item of clothing in the passage. Let's have a look. I can't see anything in paragraph A. Paragraph A talks about curry, china, ruby. There is nothing about clothing there. Also, I can't see anything in paragraph B. Let's check out paragraph C. Can we see an item of clothing there? I can see something there. Here it says tie. A tie is an item of clothing. So let's read this sentence here more closely. Rhyming slang also frequently refers to neighborhoods of London, as in Hampstead, meaning teeth, Hampstead Heath, and Peckham, meaning tie, Peckham Rye, and to figures from popular culture, and so on. So, what does the question say? It says a word in rhyming slang that refers to an item of clothing. Which word in rhyming slang refers to an item of clothing? It says Peckham. If you say Peckham, it means tie, and this is because it rhymes with Peckham Rye. So it rhymes with rye, and then you use Peckham instead of tie. So Peckham means tie, so the correct answer is paragraph C. Let's move on. Question number 5. An explanation of why it is natural for most people not to understand rhyming slang. I think that this must have been somewhere at the start, because in paragraph A, we read about what rhyming slang is about, that it's a system of informal language developed in East London. And then here in paragraph B, we get to know why it developed or how it developed. So here it says, confused you should be. Rhyming slang was likely designed to confuse outsiders and keep them out of a particular social group, although nobody is completely sure about its origins. So here it says that it was likely designed to confuse outsiders, so people who didn't know about it, and keep them out of a particular social group. And what does our question say? An explanation of why it is natural for most people not to understand rhyming slang. Yeah, it's natural because it was designed to confuse outsiders and keep them out of a particular social group. This is what paragraph B is talking about. So B is the correct answer. And this means that we are done with questions 1 to 5. Amazing, great job! By the way, if you want more IELTS reading practice tests, hit the like button and write yes in the comments. If you want me to talk about something else, tell me your video wish in the comments so I know what you would like to see on this channel. Now, let's continue solving this test. We move on with questions 6 to 10. What do the instructions say? Do the following statements agree with the information given in reading passage 1? In boxes 6 to 10 on your answer sheet, write true if the statement agrees with the information, false if it contradicts the information, and not given if there is no information on this. So these are obviously true, false, not given questions. We start directly with question number 6. The word for curry in rhyming slang comes from a person's surname. Now, this is a keyword, guys. Curry is a keyword, and this is amazing because you can find this word exactly like that in the passage if the passage talks about it. So let's scan for curry. I remember that it was somewhere at the start. Here. Does curry have anything to do with a surname? Here it comes again. Nothing about a surname here, but here it is. The full rhyme for curry is Ruby Murray, a famous singer. But Murray is not spoken. And the full rhyme for mate and so on, we are not interested in that. So the question says, the word for curry in rhyming slang comes from a person's surname. It does, right? Because the passage says the full rhyme for curry is Ruby Murray. So Murray is the surname. And this means that the correct answer is true. So we write down true. The statement agrees with the information given in the passage. Now, let's move on to question number 7. Rhyming slang may have been developed by people engaged in illegal activity. I remember that there was something in the passage about that. Here, in paragraph B, it says, some scholars have speculated it was used by criminals, so the police couldn't understand what they were saying, while others believe it was the invention of market traders who wanted to discuss and perhaps cheat their customers. The paragraph here says it may have been used by criminals, so the police couldn't understand what they were saying, and the statement says it may have been developed by people engaged in illegal activity. Criminals are people engaged in illegal activity, and so the correct answer is true. This statement agrees with the information given in the reading passage. Let's move on with the next statement. Bugs Bunny. Again, this is an amazing keyword, a unique example because both words must be said. Let's look for Bugs Bunny in the passage. Where can we see Bugs Bunny? Here. I can see it in paragraph C. Here it says Bugs Bunny. So let's read this sentence more closely. The letter. Now here it refers to the sentence before that. If you have a situation like this, always read the sentence before that because otherwise you have no idea what the next sentence is talking about. So here again it says Bugs Bunny. We've already read a part of this because this was about the tie. So let's move on from here. Here it says, and to figures from popular culture, as in Gregory meaning neck, actor Gregory Peck, and Bugs Bunny, meaning money. The latter is a fairly unusual instance of rhyming slang. The latter refers to Bugs Bunny. Now we know what this is about. So I'm gonna draw an arrow here. This refers to Bugs Bunny. And the paragraph says, it is a fairly unusual instance of rhyming slang in which the full phrase should be spoken. It's nearly always Bugs Bunny, not Bugs alone. So in rhyming slang, we say Bugs Bunny to refer to money. And it's not Bugs alone. That would be the usual situation, using only one word, but here you use two words. So it's a fairly unusual instance of rhyming slang. And this means that the correct answer is false, because the statement says that Bugs Bunny is a unique example of rhyming slang, but the passage says that it's a fairly unusual instance of rhyming slang. So we write down false. This is the correct answer because the statement contradicts the information given in the passage. We move on to question number 9. Words entering rhyming slang in the 21st century tend to come from the entertainment industry. Now, is there anything about the entertainment industry in the passage? In case of true, false, not given questions, you should know that they usually come in order in the IELTS. So this means that when we read about Bugs Bunny, we can have a look at the remaining paragraphs. So going on from here and check whether it says anything about the entertainment industry. I say usually. This means that usually it's the case, but it doesn't always have to be the case. So always make sure that you have a good idea of the passage so that you don't miss the information in case it's anywhere else. Always pay attention to that. So let's quickly check. There was nothing about entertainment in paragraphs A, B, and C. So now we have a look at paragraph D. Paragraph D was about examples. There is nothing about entertainment in there. Paragraph E, there is also nothing about entertainment because E talked about Verlan, the French informal language system. And then we only have F left. What does F say? Rhyming slang too has appeared on screen, especially at the turn of the millennium when interest in cryptolects appeared to speak. Now, it's really smart to have a look at the next statement, because if the next statement appears in the passage, you know that the statement before that is not given if you couldn't find it before. Let's have a look at statement number 10. People seem particularly curious about informal language systems in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Now, what is paragraph F talking about? Paragraph F says that at the turn of the millennium, interest in cryptolects appeared to peak. And you may remember that cryptolects means secret languages. So F says that at the turn of the millennium, so in the late 1990s and early 2000s, this is paraphrasing, this is at the turn of the millennium, interest in cryptolects appeared to peak. So people were more interested in them. And here it says people seem particularly curious about informal language systems in the late 1990s and early 2000s. That's what F is saying. So we know that the correct answer here is true. And we know that the correct answer for question number 9 is not given because this was not in the passage. Now, we are done with the true, false, not given questions. Amazing, great job. We move on to questions 11 to 13. Let's have a look at the instructions. Complete the sentence below. Write one word only from the passage for each answer. This is crucial, guys. Pay attention to the instructions. If you don't write one word only here, if you write more words, the answer is wrong. You don't get the point. So make sure you read the instructions carefully. Write your answers in boxes 11 to 13 on your answer sheet. So let's have a look at this sentence. Words that enter cryptolects tend to be everyday vocabulary. For example, words in rhyming slang such as something, something, and something refer to parts of the human body. Okay, what do we need to look for in the passage? We need to look for parts of the human body because we need to know which words in rhyming slang refer to parts of the human body. So let's have a look. Maybe you remember that there were a few paragraphs giving examples. Paragraph 1 was giving examples, but this was about curry, China, and so on. Nothing about body parts. B. This was an explanation where rhyming slang may have come from, nothing about body parts. Here, C gives many examples of rhyming slang. Let's check out whether there is anything about body parts. Here it says, frog meaning road, apples meaning stairs, no body parts. Let's move on. Here, I got a body part. Teeth. Let's have a look at this sentence. Rhyming slang also frequently refers to neighborhoods of London, as in Hampstead, meaning teeth, Hampstead Heath, and Peckham, meaning tie, Peckham Rye, and to figures from popular culture, as in Gregory, meaning neck. Here we got another body part. We have teeth here, we have neck here. So Gregory means neck, and Hampstead means teeth, and then Bugs Bunny meaning money. So we have 2 body parts here. We need 3, but let's enter those 2. Words in rhyming slang, such as Hampstead. Make sure you write this correctly. And Gregory. And something. We need to find a 3rd body part here. I got it, guys. Here it says, one example is use your loaf. Loaf of bread means head, which is to say, think carefully about something. So here we have the body part head. And what refers to head? Loaf. So I'm going to write down loaf here. That's it. This is how to solve an IELTS reading passage in less than 20 minutes. Amazing. Great job. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their IELTS score too. See you in the next video.